guys,
when
welcome back to this next segment of Ask Me How I Know. I have Mr. Gratitude himself with me once again. And if you haven't already listened to our full interview earlier this week, please make sure you go back and listen to that. And if you have yet to go to LinkedIn and follow to have this trickle in of awesome gratitude every day into your life, like make sure you go and follow Stephen Bueller. But I wanted to come back and ask you this one question, and that was, what's that one mindset shift or something that's been a real powerful play in your life?
I don't know that there's really one. I started studying self-development a number of years ago, and I mean, if you can name somebody in the self-development field, I've probably read them or tried to practice what they teach. Some things stand out in there, and one of them is one of my favorite quotes and I attribute this to John Maxwell. I believe it's from the 15 Invaluable Laws of Leadership, I think is the name of the book. And there was one thing in there that just hit me right between the eyes. It was, we keep what we value. Now, that would be true of just about anything, whether it's your possessions, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a thought, an action. If we keep it, we have given it some value. And so if you examine yourself really closely, and you think, why is this here? What value do I place on it? If it's a toxic relationship, why do you have it? What value is there in that? If your garage is full of stuff, why is it there? That's an easy place to start. If your, organized life is unorganized, why is that? And again, it's partly with habits, but that to me was an eye-opener. We keep what we value. I think that's a pretty big mindset.
My mind is blown on that one right there. I mean, because but we don't realize that we are valuing that. So I can think about in my closet, I do a pretty good job purging clothes. This is so superficial, but there are some shirts that is like, the value is sentimental or something, and it's like, I've attributed value. That's really fascinating. So how has that changed your life?
Well, I look at things more closely now. Let's see. Oh, my recent example is my mother was moving out of her place where she lived to her final home, much smaller apartment, and so a lot of stuff to get rid of, stuff that she'd had. And we're going, oh no, you can't throw that out. And she'd go, why not? It's time to let things go. I mean, and in the end, she's got a beautiful place. She's got everything she needs, everything she wants. And the stuff that is gone, nobody's missing. That's the thing, you'd be surprised you can get rid of and not miss it. Like I look at my workbench, I'm going, I don't need 2 electric drills. I don't need half the stuff. If you haven't used it in 6 months, you probably won't need it again. Or if you do, you go get another one.
Right.
So, but those are things that, pretty superficial. If you get into relationships and that's harder. Because if you've got somebody you think, well, they're an old friend. Well, when was the last time you talked with them? 10 years ago. Well, is it really a friend? If it is, get in touch right now. Tell them you appreciate them. Tell them I've missed them so much, and stuff like that. I think it's paramount to maintaining a certain level of sanity and continuity. By valuing what you keep and keeping what you value.
Wow, I love that. My husband quotes, and I'm not going to endorse the movie necessarily, but the movie Fight Club from years ago. And there's a scene where the character says, what you own ends up owning you. And so in line with that same philosophy of assigning value to it, but whatever we have, it encumbers us in some capacity as well.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with collecting things. If you have a hobby, that's okay too, right? I mean, some people collect baseball caps or old Corvettes or what have you. But if it brings meaning to you, it brings, that's value if it has meaning, right? So you just have to set the parameters, decide what stays and what goes, and
be
why.
conscious of
conscious
it.
Conscious of it. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well, Steve, what would the best way, people have listened to you, they're not circling back, they already listened to the previous episode, but they're like, wait, I really need to learn more. I really want to connect up and maybe, ask Steve to help guide me in some of this. What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
I would primarily use LinkedIn, the social media app, which used to be for professional networking. It's not that much anymore. I think people have, because of the pandemic, have made it more of a social site and a lot more personal stories on there. I view it as a big platform for gaining and keeping friends. Like, you and I had never met, but I already feel like I know you, and I'm dying to wait to travel again. There are people across North America. I have to get in touch. I have to give them a hug and a handshake or whatever.
Right.
But LinkedIn would be good. Find my profile, Stephen Bueller, Mr. Gratitude, and connect. DM me. The other way, I'm narrowing it down to these two, is my other one would be stephenjbueller@gmail.com, because I will answer emails. Not always promptly, but I will answer them. And I'm keeping it at that because I do very little Twitter or Instagram. It's a time waster for me, and Facebook the same thing. I have accounts, but they're time wasters.
Yeah,
we keep what we value, remember.
That's right, exactly. Well, thank you so much for letting us dig into a mindset specific, and I hope that this served everyone well. And just take this as one nugget, one intention that you can, implement into your life, and that will help you grow. You do this each week, and you're going to be a different, like the next best version of yourself before you know it.
I hope so. It's been a real pleasure talking with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And to my amazing, amazing listeners, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you are. And also make sure, if you didn't listen to the full episode, make sure you go back and listen to the full episode where we're talking specifically about gratitude. Until next time, go find your freedom. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Ask Me How I Know. This episode was brought to you by 3 Keys Investments. They are dedicated to helping people like you, you, my awesome listeners, develop passive income and legacy wealth through multifamily investing. Feel free to check out their website, 3keysinvestments.com, to see if there is an offering that will help your portfolio grow and meet all of your needs. If you haven't already rated, reviewed, subscribed, liked, all of those bells and whistles, I would be absolutely honored if you would do that for Ask Me How I Know. Thanks again, and go make it a great day.